W3L champion, and I want to be the W3L champion again. So by all means, what do you say we do it and have a championship match for that belt right here, right now? Joe, I'm not gonna play by your rules. I'll take on Joe whenever I feel like it.
Hello again everybody and welcome along to W3L Wrestling Showdown here as always on the W3L network. Thank you for joining me here this week. Thank you for having bought your tickets for our live event this Saturday in Edinburgh. I'll be talking a bit about that very soon, but first, you've just seen footage of some recent events involving Joe E. Legend. He confronted James Scott right here on Wrestling Showdown, said he wanted a shot at the Heavyweight Championship. He then had to wrestle Dickie Divers, and he did, overcoming him in the process. So management have put pen to paper and they have got the contract signed and both men in position. So this week here on Wrestling Showdown, James Scott is going to be defending the Heavyweight Championship against Joe E. Legend. The most surprising thing about this, has to be said, is the fact that when he confronted James Scott, a lot of the crowd took Joe E. Legend's side. When he wrestled Dickie Divers, he was ridiculously popular. And it just baffles me why anybody would cheer Joe E. Legend, but I guess you all have short memories. I certainly don't. I personally have no interest in this match whatsoever. I'm not a fan of James Scott, I'm not a fan of Joe E. Legend, and really I don't see a benefit to either man being the heavyweight champion. But that's just my sour grapes. What do I know? It's only my neck that hurts every time it's a cold morning. So let's head down to ringside as we have the heavyweight title on the line. Joe E. Legend against James Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is a singles match set for one fall and is for the W3L Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first of all your challenger from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and weighing in at 252 pounds. This is Joe E. Legend. And his opponent, coming to us in the pride of Lanarkshire and weighing 205 pounds, the man who says he is the champion and will remain champion as long as he chooses, the W3L Heavyweight Champion, James Scott.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce here with you on Wrestling Showdown, and we have our long-awaited Heavyweight Championship match. I'm sure you saw the footage, I'm sure you're watching the episode back in July when Joe E. Legend, the man on the left of your screen, came out and confronted James Scott, the heavyweight champion, saying that he would like a shot at the title. Scott said he would do it when he was good and ready. It's taken quite a while, but management have finally managed to pin Scott down long enough for the contract to be signed and for the match to be made. And here's the interesting right away, is that Joey Legend, the crowd are firmly on his side. Now when he confronted James Scott, who's disappeared out the ring there, they were cheering for him anyway, but I mean that's against James Scott, and most folk would be cheered against James Scott, quite frankly. Then when he faced Dickie Diver just a couple of weeks ago here on Showdown, the crowd were really firmly in the camp of Joey Legend, and they appear to be supporting him here this week on Showdown as well. Scott just taking his time, not liking the fact that nobody in this building is supporting him, apart from Dickie Divers of course. This is quite a surprise really when you think about Joey Legend and all the things he's done, but the crowd are firmly on his side. Look at this, going to Divers, he's not going to let him disrespect a fan. Divers tasted a good few of those hands in their match here on Showdown. Now the bell has rung, potentially Legend could be counted out here, so Scott content to let him fight on the floor. Technically I suppose if Divers hits Legend that's a disqualification, isn't it? And Scott charges in. Oh, hold on, Legend's got the pair of them. And runs their heads together. Now of course the count was broken and restarted when Scott left the ring. Legend, I'm assuming, isn't going to allow Scott to get counted out, because if that's the case James Scott retains the heavyweight title. I looked at Divers trying to get in as well. Hold on, Thomas Kearns is sending Dickie Divers to the back. He's kicking him out from ringside. It's probably a fair move. Let's have a one-on-one contest, see what happens. Everyone happy about this, apart from James Scott. He's not pleased at all. I'm sure that Scott and Divers came with a strategy that would involve Dickie Divers getting involved. Hang on, a roll up, and Legend taking the opportunity nearly ends this match early. This is the first time these two men have crossed paths, certainly W3L anyway. As Scott immediately gets to the ropes. And when I say it's the first time they've crossed paths, I mean in a specific one-on-one singles contest. They have actually been in the ring together back in December of 2015 here on Showdown, which was the anniversary special, which is the episode where Joey Legend won the Heavyweight Championship. And so you saw the carnage that ensued in that match. He catapults James Scott in the ring, and then he goes straight for a cover. Legend has gold in his mind. He wants that title. Runs into a turnbuckle. Some does the Divers as well. Now the two of them worked kinda in partnership in that four-way match. It was then champion Nathan Reynolds versus Mike Musso versus Joey Legend versus James Scott. And Legend and Scott together eliminated Mike Musso. But of course here it's every man for himself. And Legend drops a knee right across the forehead of James Scott in for a cover again, and puts the forearm across the face as well. Don't have to hold the champion down, but certainly means he's going to have to expend more energy in kicking out. And Legend reigned for quite a while as the heavyweight champion, had a very notable title reign, mainly for all the wrong reasons. But he does appear to have turned over a new leaf. He seemed fairly genuine when he spoke to the crowd and confronted James Scott. But I guess time will tell. He certainly seemed to have changed his attitude when he wrestled Dickie Divers. And that won't change your attitude, will change your momentum, as James Scott with a belly-to-belly suplex. Phenomenal strength there. That was tremendous. James Scott with that low centre of gravity just popped Joey Legend right overhead with that belly-to-belly suplex. I don't think anyone's expecting that, Legend especially. Legend eliminated from the ring, thrown to the floor. Obviously James Scott wants to do some damage out there, and as you can see there's no mats. just gouging at the face. Scott will be quite content, I would think, to be disqualified or get counted out. He will retain the title, but his pride will take a dent. I think he'd like to prove to Legend that as good as Legend is, he can beat him. Remember, this is the same James Scott who went up against Bram on 2 separate occasions, one which is a false count anywhere match, and if you were there in Kirkcaldy when it happened, you saw that James Scott was bounced right around every corner of the ice arena and still somehow managed to retain the title. And Joey Legend just smashed that plastic cup into the head of James Scott. And again, both we need to keep an eye on the count. Scott's already broken the count, so Thomas Collins would have to restart it. But again, the victory can only occur in the ring if you want the title to change hands. Is Legend going for a pile driver perhaps, or a powerbomb? And Joey Legend took a nasty spill there. James Scott backdropped out of that powerbomb attempt, and Legend's hit the solid wooden floor. We're at 8. I think he's going to get counted out. At 9, James Scott's going to retain his title, but no, he doesn't. Joey Legend, with the last vestiges of his energy, rolls into the ring. Scott's furious, feeling that should have been a count out, but he's giving Legend a chance to recover. And again, I'm thinking Scott's having to change his plans on the fly, because Diver's been kicked out of ringside. It's just one-on-one here. That is now 2 backdrops, one on the floor, one in the ring, and this could end it. Still fight left in Joey Legend. He didn't hold the heavyweight title as long as he did by being easy to defeat. And Scott really has to stay on him. If he lets his frustration get the better of him, then he's going to lose the title. So he rakes at the face of Joey Legend. We've seen that Scott will do whatever it takes to win as well. I'm sure you saw how he won the title from Nathan Reynolds, brawling all over the building. His original match with Bram, which was technically a normal rules match, and brawled over the building as well. So Scott can fight with the best of them, but if there's anyone that can match him for those kind of bending the rule tactics, do whatever it takes to win, it's going to be Joe Legend. And Scott will rake in his face, and this crowd completely on the side of Joey Legend. And you might argue it's a lesser of evils, but I really don't think it is. I think this crowd are willing to take Legend at face value. He says he's changed, and James Scott, his momentum changed, the Irish whip changed, and James Scott went face first at the ring post. And this crowd willing Joey Legend on to get up, to throw James Scott in the ring, to score that pinfall. Okay, Thomas Collins applying the count. I think we're at 8. And then maybe it's Scott that's going to get counted out. And he's at a 9, but he's climbing back onto the ring apron. Both men have come perilously close as Legend's neck gets snapped at the top rope. They're going perilously close to being counted out. Oh, and he goes to the cover of his feet on the ropes, right in front of the referee as well. And they're trying to deny it when everyone's seen it. But I think this is a sign that James Scott's perhaps worried that maybe Legend's not going down as easily as he thought he would have done. Scott just toying with him, just biding his time. As I said before, you really need, and here's the proof, you've got to stay on the edge, otherwise he will fire back on you. Those machine gun like chops, it's going to take James Scott's breath away. Oh, he's raining fists down, and oh, he gets dropped. James Scott countering. I think he's going to try and take him further away, but Legend grabbed the ropes, so Scott dropped him face first. Scott across the shoulders. What now? Oh, and slams him down, fireman's driver style. And James Scott saying it's over. And what a poor cover. Just hands across the chest. Surely it's no surprise that Legend would kick out of that one. James Scott charges in and goes right in the boot of Joey Legend, who explodes at the corner of that clothesline. And who can forget some of the great matches the Legends had against the likes of Nathan Reynolds, Mike Musso of course. His defeat Grado to retain the Heavyweight Championship. He was a dominant force in the Heavyweight division, and if he were to get that title, what would happen with Resolution 11 coming up later in the year? Because as we know, Blondie Barrett won 7 Deadly Sins this year. He is going on to the main event to get that Heavyweight Championship match. But which of these two men, if either, is it going to be? In the short term, we've got the spectre of Johnny Moss on the horizon, but that's for another time. Right now, one of these two men is going to walk away with the championship, but will be a new champion or not? As he smacks with these open hand strikes. Some of this is Dickie Divers. And Scott reeling, can barely stand up. And another one, and down he goes. And drops the oh my god elbow. This is the only time it's ever been cheered. And James Scott, you can hear the disbelief in the crowd. They thought that was it. They thought those palm strikes and that elbow was enough to finish him. But Scott has proved his tenacity. Hang on, hospital job here. But not quite. Still buildings moving. Oh, and down he goes, the curb stomp. Face first at the canvas. Wedges him set. He normally falls out with a kick to the head. And that's what it is. Puts James Scott squarely in the face. I think we're about to get a brand new heavyweight champion as Joey Legend covers James Scott, who gets a shoulder off the canvas. Stomped face first into the mat. And then getting his face kicked. I'm very surprised that James Scott was able to continue. Here he comes again. Oh, and drops the knee right in the back of James's head. Now could have got a knockout with that. But face first, and he gets a foot in the ropes. I think perhaps Joey Legend wasn't entirely taking care of the ring positioning, which is obviously to James Scott's benefit. This is Scott's second reign as heavyweight champion. Held the tag title 3 times as well. And he cut. Oh, and the referee nearly got hit. I think Scott tried to pull him in the way. And Scott slugs him from behind. Let's go for a cover off this one. But Legend not done yet. There's Scott taking any opportunity. When Legend's down, Scott needs to fall if he's going to hit anything quickly. Sets up for the foot stop and misses. And Legend runs at the corner and smashes James Scott. Now comes the hospital job. No, it's not. Drives out the Uranagi and now hooks him. And he's got that arm locked in. So he's bending the arm against the elbow. Holding us. That's Tim. What's Tim Welly doing here? Joe Legend fighting him off. Referee's called for the bell. I'm assuming it's a disqualification. Why is Tim Welly and the very good Mr. Yuji Maki out here? I know they like to disrupt things in W3L, but this isn't their match. They're not the contingency plan, are they? As Divers comes back, guess the match is technically over now. Is this... We've got Maki, Welly, Divers and Scott Why are the four of them getting involved? It's like the Poundland Four Horsemen here, putting the boots to Joey Legend. And hold on, here comes the cavalry. Liam Thompson, Big Dave Jeremy, Jason Reed. And to make the save, Mackie staying back. Very wise on his part. This has become absolute chaos. What the hell's going on? Why did Tim Wiley stick his nose in? I cannot understand what's going on. He's nothing to do with the contingency plan. At least not that I'm aware of, unless there's a new alliance here. But he's cost Joey Legend the Heavyweight Championship. And as a consequence, look at them now slugging each other. Two of the biggest men in W3L, trading shots. Legend's got a hard right hand, but Tim Wiley's all muscle. As the fight continues on the floor, and an ace crusher. And Wiley gets laid out. But the match has been thrown out. Thomas Kearns called for the belt. I'm guessing it's either a DQ or a no contest. James Scott's going to keep the title. Legend was robbed. He had this in the bag, it looked like, but Tim Wiley stuck his oar in, and as a consequence, James Scott escapes by the skin of his teeth with the title. And Mackie and Wiley is walking off, the damage being done. Legend fails to get the title here on Showdown.
I'm supposed to be impartial in these things, but the fact that Joey Legend is not the heavyweight champion is frankly fine by me. And the fact that James Scott still is, well, it's not ideal, but it could be a lot worse that happens. I'm sure Joey Legend will be turning his attention to Tim Wiley now, considering the events of the match you have just seen. But for James Scott, this means that he must go on to Edinburgh this coming Saturday, 6 days away, and he must defend the heavyweight championship against Johnny Moss. Now, James Scott's overcome some tough challengers in his time, particularly thinking about Bram bouncing all over like a Claudius, But Johnny Moss is one of the people who built the modern British wrestling scene. He's one of the architects of the wrestling that you see up and down this country week in, week out. He's got a wealth of ability and talent, and he's coming gunning to W3L, gunning for the heavyweight championship and gunning for James Scott. Can Scott retain the title? Will he leave Edinburgh with a belt around his waist? Who knows? But you can find it by being there. You can get your ticket from our website. And remember, that's in addition to the fact that Leah Owens will be making her return to W3L after she lost the title in that impromptu match to Sarah. We're going to be seeing Mike Musso, all your favourite W3L stars, and conversely some of your least favourites, but sorry, that's how wrestling tends to work. Go to our website, we're at w3lwrestling.com, get your tickets there. Use Showdown as a coupon code for 20% off them. Make sure you like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, subscribe to this channel, use the hashtag W3L Wrestling Showdown, and come along. This Saturday we are in Edinburgh, and it is going to be amazing. A fantastic night of professional wrestling action, the way that only W3L can do it. So do not miss out. Nothing beats seeing W3L live in the flesh, so make sure you don't miss it. We'll see you on Saturday in Edinburgh, and then be back here next Sunday for even more top quality wrestling Showdown.